After Tyson Fury fights Francis Ngannou, Tyson is set to fight Oleksandr Usyk later this year, and pros have explained why Usyk is a problem for Fury. Frank Warren was sure this fight was going to get signed sooner or later, and he was positive that Daniel Dubois' possible rematch wouldn't get in the way. Frank stated, "At the moment, we're waiting until the WBA come back to us, which they haven't yet. I'm hoping we are successful in where we came, then we'll be in a position where Daniel is put in a position to fight Usyk, and we will deal with that. But that is not going to get in the way of this fight. Delighted to finally get this fight signed. This is the biggest fight that could possibly be made in our sport. The heavyweights always spark the imagination of the fans, and I have no doubt that this will be the biggest boxing event of the century. I look forward to Tyson reclaiming the 3 belts that he never lost in the ring." Usyk believed that Fury was afraid of fighting him, and he also thought he was just being greedy in taking the fight with Francis Ngannou.
It seems strange that instead of choosing the top 10 guy, the guy is choosing someone who never boxed before.
Do you think he's scared?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Greedy belly, afraid.
Eddie Hearn really thought that Tyson was rather weird for not accepting fights with Anthony Joshua or Oleksandr Usyk for so long. Eddie stated, "He said he's not interested in AJ, he's not interested in Undisputed, he's not interested in Oleksandr Usyk. He says he just wants the big boys, but I don't know who is bigger than those two. There's massive money in those fights, and there's legacy in those fights, so hopefully Fury wants to create a great legacy in boxing. He may be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I think he should try and prove it. You can't claim you're one of the best heavyweights of all time. He may be. I think he's favored against Usyk and favored against AJ at the moment. But until he fights them, you can't say you're one of the greatest heavyweights ever, and that's what's frustrating because he may be." Well, the fight has finally been signed, and Tyson Fury is getting ready to make a pretty penny for his fight with Usyk after Ngannou. Bob Arum stated, "Tyson has to take care of business on October 28th when he fights Ngannou, and then we're off to the races for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world." Obviously, the date is not going to be announced until after October 28th, but what happens if Tyson gets busted up or hurts his hand? But when that fight is over, Usyk I know is coming there for that fight, then an announcement will be made of the actual date. As I understand it, it'll be held in the same arena as Fury Ngannou. If I told you Tyson Fury he's set to make $100 million, he'd really get pissed off because he thinks, and I think he's right, that he's going to make a lot more. Tyson Fury isn't a fan of Usyk at all, and he called him out for not wanting to accept a fight when he originally offered it.
"Oleksandr is no great. Oleksandr the coward. That's you. You little cowardly, ugly bastard. You had your opportunity to fight me in April. The biggest fight of all times. Fight of the century. But no, you wanted rematches, crying like a little girl. Sausage. You ain't no good, man. You're a piece of Look at the state of your face after AJ butchered you in your fights. You ain't Mr. Unhittable. I'll annihilate you. Easy fight. Come and take your money. Get your 30%. No rematch clauses. Man on man. And I will annihilate your sausage. But you don't want it because you're a little ducker, ain't you? You're a little cowardly house. In fact, AJ and Wilder and you, I own all 3 ears. I'm the daddy. I'm the daddy. Me. I'm the daddy. Come and fight, you little cowardly bastard.
Lennox Lewis definitely thinks that size will be a factor in this upcoming fight. Lennox stated, "Usyk cannot be taken lightly. He's the undisputed champion at cruiserweight, and he hasn't lost, and when he trains for a fight, and when he boxes for a fight, there is mental and physical involved, so it's going to be a great fight. He's not going there to try and lose, he's going there to try and win, so whatever he can do to win, he will pull out all the stops. I think it'll be a great fight, but he's up against a different man because he's not up against a 6'7" guy. He's up against a 6'9" guy that boxes orthodox and southpaw and moves very well around the ring. I always say a good big guy always beats a good small guy, so there you have it." Rahman has knocked out Lewis before though, and he thinks that Usyk versus Fury fight will go a very different way. Hassim stated, "If Fury wants to keep his legacy intact, then he should fight Usyk, but I think Usyk can beat him. Tyson Fury's biggest advantage is that most heavyweights are really slow and he uses his boxing skills against them. Usyk is in his prime in the heavyweight division, and I think he can beat Tyson Fury. Fury's size would be an advantage with most heavyweights who just stand in front of you and Fury could lean on and grab, but Usyk is not that type of fighter. He's not going to allow him to just use his weight and his size. In fact, he's going to use his weight and size against him. He's going to use spurts of boxing and do that for 12 rounds, and I think Tyson walking around at 200 pounds, he's going to gas out. Usyk will make him exhausted and probably knock him out. Joe Rogan has been pushing for this fight for quite some time, and he thinks that Usyk is really good considering his size and the heavyweight weight class.
I just get very frustrated when there's amazing fights that are on the table that don't get made. You know, like Usyk and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see. I know Usyk is small, right? I know he's small for the weight class, but god damn, that dude is good. God damn, he's good. And the pace that he fights at for a heavyweight is insane.
Definitely. I think that goes back to, you know, the business. You know, the business side, you know, Usyk is, you know, a great fighter and has accomplished great things in the sport of boxing.
Francis Ngannou doesn't appreciate the fact that Fury has gone ahead and signed this fight with Usyk without having finished his fight, but he doesn't think that he'll be medically cleared to fight after dealing with him. Francis stated, "I don't know what's the minimum medical suspension in boxing, but I really don't understand how Tyson can fight in December after what's going to happen on 10/28. Michael Hunter wasn't so sure about this fight being made, but he knew that if it did, Usyk would be a problem for someone like Fury. Michael stated, "I still see Usyk giving Tyson the blues. The power is the only thing. He's going to have to figure out how to gain his respect and win rounds. Usyk is a fleet-footed fighter, and he's going to have to gain some of Tyson's respect in the earlier rounds. I see Usyk still giving him fits though. It's very controversial, but I still think Usyk gives him problems because he has problems with fighters that are our size and use their feet a lot. But I don't think they'll even step in the ring together. Hopefully they do, but I don't see it happening." Carl Froch thinks that Tyson's physique might make someone like Usyk a problem if they got in the ring together. Carl stated, "If he gets too out of shape and remains out of the ring for too long, there comes a point of no return where he could find himself in a tough fight against an average opponent. I believe Fury would have the physical advantage over Usyk, but he needs to be in top form, 100% focused, and prepared for 12 rounds. He has to be fit for 12 rounds because if Usyk decides to maintain distance, box smartly, and avoid engaging too much, constantly targeting Fury's body, arms, and chest, and only striking when within range, it could spell a 12-round disaster for Tyson Fury. I'm not entirely convinced he would go straight against Usyk, and that might be why he priced himself out of the fight." Mike Tyson believes that Tyson would win in a showdown with Usyk, but he definitely sees Usyk being a challenge for him. Mike stated, "Tyson Fury will win. He'll overpower him. Usyk can't run that long with him. Tyson's going to wear him down. He'll get on him and wear on him, and then he's going to pound on him. Usyk is not going to win the titles running. I'm a great fan of Usyk's, but he's not going to beat Tyson moving and running. He's going to have to eventually fight." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.